What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 2 of NHL 25 Anaheim Ducks Franchise Mode Series. Can't thank you guys enough for the support on that first episode. Over 60,000 views is insane. Almost 2,000 likes. If you guys wouldn't mind also leaving a thumbs up on this one as well, I would really appreciate it. Now, getting started here, guys, you can see we're currently 5-1 in the preseason. Obviously, last year, definitely a surprise team. I was thinking bottom 5 in the NHL. Somehow ended up making the playoffs. So really don't know what to expect from this team this season, but obviously I'm kind of ready for whatever happens. Either we can trade away some guys or maybe actually make a push here. So first line, you got Leo Carlson, now 89 overall, which is awesome to see. Playing McTavish and Zegras. Somebody actually pointed out to me, I didn't even realize, they took away Zegras' skilled up zone ability, which is kind of crazy, obviously. Kind of the reason why we see so many Michigans in the NHL right now. Troy Terry there on the second line with Gauthier, Nyquist, they're all 86s. She'll point out too, Zegras down 89, so he was crushing it in that first season. We then have a Toronto, Strome, Killorn on the third, with Leeson, Svechkov, Colangelo on the fourth. Also, guys, one thing I want to point out, I forgot to show you that in the last episode, Cutter Gauthier, of course, won the Calder, and you can actually now see it on his player card. So really love that player we're tracking. Just wanted to show it off for you guys. Defensively here, Pavel Mintyukov, an absolute beast. Now 90 overall, low franchise potential as well, so we'll see if that helps him grow or not. Definitely the highest rated player on our team. 1 year left, I think, too, on his deal, so definitely want to get him signed to extension early on. Zelger there playing with him on that top pair, hopefully help him grow. You got Fowler, Lindgren second, Gavrikov, Lacombe on the bottom. Goaltending here, we're still rocking Gibson, Dostal. I thought Gibson might have went up in rating, but that's okay. First power play there, you can see pretty much just the kids, and it looks really good. Power play 2, only a -2, so unfortunately chemistry could definitely be better for these special teams, but the 5-on-5 is looking pretty good. PK1, Svechkov leading that there with Killorn. You look at PK2, PK3, definitely. I think we're looking a lot better with some of the defense we brought in. So again, team maybe will make the playoffs again, maybe they'll suck. Kind of just waiting to see what happens here once we start the sim. In terms of the AHL team, we got Harkins there playing on the first line with Connor Geekie, Corey Perry. So definitely think Connor Geekie will be a big part of our team in the future. Second line there, nothing too crazy. On the third line, you have a Stujov. Fourth line there, again, nothing crazy. Defensively here, Kral, Leno. Leno hopefully eventually makes the NHL team. Same with Hellison. Dionisio might as well. So we'll have to see kind of how these guys grow. Suchanek there actually became a pretty decent AHL starter. 22.77 medium fringe. You never know. He could end up being like a high 70, low 80, in which case might actually be a backup goalie for us. So, like I said, guys, excited to see what happens here. No changes to the captaincy since the last episode. But if you guys missed it, we got McTavish there in the C with both Terry and Fowler wearing A's. And now, of course, at the sim here, guys, I'll show the ratings for this team. We've got 91 offense, 89 defense, 84 goaltending. You guys can see there too. No zone abilities yet for this team. And I feel like Mintyukov being a 90 overall should be getting one very soon. And speaking of him, guys, like I mentioned, you need to sign him to an extension. You'll see at the bottom there, we actually currently have 22 million in cap space. So, like I said, if we are competing, we got more than enough money to add guys at the deadline. Right now, though, we're worried about the future. So, Mintyukov, $9 million for 5 years. Could have a conversation with him, but I feel like contract interest there is maxed. Organization's close to max. I feel like this guy's ready to sign on that dotted line. We'll need him for 6 more years. We're doing an 8-year franchise series. Now, contract interest does drop quite a bit, so maybe we keep it at 5. And then we try and get that number down a little bit from 9 million to 8. He still has pretty high contract interest, so we'll try that first. If he says no, we'll offer closer to 9. Leo Carlson as well, 89 overall, needs a new big deal. He's got pretty much the same max contract interest, very close to max organizational interest. He wants 6 years, which is perfect. 8.5, doesn't even really want a no move clause. We could offer him maybe the same amount for our 2 studs there, $8 million. See what he says. Now, Trevor Zegras is an interesting one. Was making 5.8, obviously not his first contract. 9.7 for 2 years. That's the contract he wants. Organization, that's probably fair. You know, obviously the Ducks, we're looking to trade him in real life. 3 years, 4 years, it gets expensive here for Zegras. So I think the sweet spot's probably 3 years. Now, he wants 10.3 though. Dang, that's a lot of money for Zegras. Honestly, maybe we do a 1 year while he's still an RFA. We have control. I don't want to lose him on like a 2-year UFA. We'll try 1 year at $9 million. See what Zegras says. Now, Cutter Gauthier as well is 86. He needs an extension. He wants $10 million on a 2-year bridge. 86 overall Gauthier. Oh my gosh. These asks here are a little crazy. Gauthier obviously sees himself getting a lot better. We're going to wait on him. If he doesn't play that well, then he asks Will to come down. Nyquist cannot afford to bring back. Honestly, this might be our year to win. Selger as well needs a new contract. We're going to be losing so much money. He wants 6.6 as an 83. Oh my goodness. Can we get him long? Okay, long term. It's not bad. 4-year deal. Let's try 4 years, $6 million. Now, even Svechkov and Lacombe here we could also extend. These are guys that kind of need to get cheap. Yeah, Svechkov there. If I see him being 4th line center long term, $900K for 3 years, that'd be awesome. Lacombe wants league min. Again, for a 6th defenseman, 3 years ago, so 925K. Let's see, he's 24. We have guys coming up. Let's try to keep it at 3 years where he's still under $1 million. I think I should say yes to that. Zellweger rejects, okay. He took a day to decide. Zegras rejects, okay. So far, not looking too great. Lacombe accepted, 3 years, 925K, very good. Leo Carlson accepted. I think that was a really good contract, $8 million for 6 years. Mintyukov accepted too, the $8 million. I think that was for what, 5 years? Now, Svechkov rejects. I gave him exactly what he wanted. That one's a little bit interesting. All right, guys, so Svechkov here had to change it from a two-way to a one-way. Offered him a little bit more money, I think. To get him for those 3 years is definitely worth it. And as you can see at the top here, we got both Mintyukov and Carlson extended, $8 million for our top 2 players. Like, that's really good. Which is why, like, I don't know, Gauthier asking for the 10 mil is crazy. Now, Zegras here. I think his ask has gone up. He now wants $11.5 million for 2 years. I'm not sure if that's because the season started or if because he thinks we lowballed him on the last offer. That's definitely interesting to see. Looking at these prices here, $16 million for an 89. We are going to wait on Trevor Zegras. Does not make sense to sign him right now. Same with Gauthier. Zellweger, though, I think we could get under a pretty reasonable contract, especially since, oh my goodness, I was going to say he's playing top D pair right now with Mintyukov. Try and get him locked up cheaper, but his ask has also gone way up, maybe because we did fail in that initial offer. Yep, going to have to wait on him as well. If he does pop off, I'll pay him, but if he doesn't, his price is definitely going to come down. And there we go, guys. Svechkov accepted the offer. Unfortunately, though, you might see there, we actually lost our first game of the season, 11-0 to the Vegas Golden Knights. Not a great start. And right here, guys, we have Winnipeg placing Puljujarvi on waivers. Curious to see what he's at. 78 overall, and he's 27 years old, so he's done growing. Okay, yeah, definitely, that's a decline. Sabres here essentially offering us a third for a fourth. We give them Corey Perry. I mean, Perry's in the AHL right now, so I think it just makes sense to say yes to that. Obviously, want him to be like a mentor down there, but if we can move up for free, might as well. Are you kidding me, guys? Again, a team trades for one of our players and puts him on waivers. I'm going to decline, but, like, they got to fix this. And this is insane, guys. Vancouver Canucks want to give us a third-round pick for Weatherspoon. I'm pretty sure he's, like, 27 or something. He's going to be, like, an AHL defenseman for us. He's actually 28. Wow, 77. That's barely a 7th defenseman. I'm going to say yes, but I feel like the logic there from the AIGM doesn't make a ton of sense. All right, guys, so I just assumed to end December. We currently have a record here of 20-17-2, so not too bad. Definitely better than we started, I think. In October, we were like 3-6. So we're turning around a little bit here. Currently in a wildcard spot in the West. Now the Sharks, 1 point behind us with 3 games in hand. The Canucks, also 3 games in hand, only 2 points back. The Flames are close. Now, having said that, we're only 3 points back. The Oilers there first in the division. So it is super tight here. Central actually looks to be significantly worse than Pacific for whatever reason. So we'll see what happens. I don't think I'm going to make any significant changes right now, seeing as like we're not really sure if we're going to be a playoff team or not. I am curious to see, though. So Zegras currently leading the team in points with 38. Mintyukov's 20 as D-man. Very solid. And currently leading the league in points. McDavid, 56-37. You like to see that. William Eklund in second. Wow, 52. That's crazy. He's actually averaging over an assist a game. Oh my. Sharks fans would love that. And the Washington Capitals here are putting Alexander Alexeyev on waivers. I think he's actually still pretty decent. Okay, 26-79, 6'4". I mean, that's not that bad. Obviously, you'd have to have him in the NHL. We only have a spot for him. I'm honestly just kind of curious if they fixed waivers where he should be in the NHL if we pick him up and not go straight to the AHL. Let's see what happens. So I claimed Alexeyev, guys. I'm curious to see. Okay, guys, so they have fixed it. As you guys can see here, Alexeyev is on the NHL team, not AHL. So currently he's just scratched for us, which honestly is fine. We got a pretty decent asset there for free. And maybe depending on like what trades we make at the deadline, could actually, get into our lineup. And that's kind of sad, guys. The Columbus Blue Jackets fired their head coach. I hope in real life he gets a longer leash than this. Getting fired, in his second year doesn't really seem too fair. And now, speaking of Columbus, guys, they're offering us a third-round pick, essentially, for Vetrano. I think we could get more than that if we do choose to trade him. We're currently still just barely above 500. Right here, we have to drop back around to get a backup goalie. That's a no. I feel like goalies are about a dime a dozen, especially, at that kind of talent level. So we're still about 4 weeks away from the deadline. These 4 weeks are going to be crucial in determining whether or not we're buyers or sellers. This looks like it could be a good trade. Zarenko, medium starter for a 5th round pick. 24 years old, so he doesn't have too much time left to grow. 80 overall, though. I mean, yeah, for a 5th round pick, let's do that all day. Now, the only issue with Zarenko here, guys, if we send him down to the AHL, he could get claimed, so I think we'll just hold on to him to be the AHL starter next year, probably. And so we're at the deadline now, guys. It's actually a negative record, 30-31-3. So interesting how last year a pretty bad team, in my opinion, makes the playoffs, and this year, much improved team is probably going to miss. So we're currently 7th there in the division, 7 points back, or I guess we're 5 points back of the second wild card. I don't know though. There's a lot of teams between us and that second wild card. We'd have to go on a crazy run. I think it makes sense here to sell some guys and, obviously not completely tear down the team. I think the core is good enough. We could still make the playoffs if they do get hot, but not looking like that's going to be the case, unfortunately. AHL team, 18, 30, and 4. They're now tied for last rather than being dead last. Also, they're doing better than some of the teams in other divisions. So, an improvement for the HL team, but they're still not looking too great, unfortunately. Now, their leading scorer is actually Connor Geeky, so hopefully that's a sign of, things to come in the NHL. In terms of the NHL team, it is Leo Carlson, 58 points. Mintyukov, 42 there for a D-man. All right, so we'll get to the deadline here. Definitely, like I said, got to try and, move some bodies. So I would call us conservative seller more so than, full blown. All right, guys, so we got, Wild's 2 top veteran defensemen, Brodin, Spurgeon, both on the block. Vince Dunn, Matheson, Kotikov, Strome, Shea, Mangiapane, Ryan Strome, apparently our AIGM thinks we should be selling him. Scott Lawton, interesting. So a lot of defensemen available. Honestly, Ryan Strome, he is, 32 years old now. We need some money cleared up for next year for Zegras, for Zellweger. Even with our $20 million extension dollars, obviously, almost all of that immediately went to Carlson, Mintyukov. So that might not be a terrible idea. I think Fowler as well has 1 year left on his deal, so I'm not really sure what kind of money he's going to be looking for, but he might, go up in price. Seneca, 76, could be making the jump to the NHL. Nyquist on an expiring deal. He's definitely a guy we should look to move. Also, I'm curious about Zellweger's stats this year. 4 goals and 11 assists, playing top pair. Come on, this guy's so much better than that offensively. I don't really know why he's not simming better, but definitely not going to be able to ask for $8 million after this season. All right, guys, right here I'm trying to make a pretty massive trade the Detroit Red Wings to get Roger McQueen, 75 overall already at 19 years old, elite potential. He's about a point per game right now playing for the Brandon Wheat Kings. I'm offering up Connor Geeky, who's 3 overall higher, but medium top 6 instead of medium elite. And then also we're trading Gus Nyquist here, 86 overall. We're sending him home to the Detroit Red Wings. So a slightly worse prospect, but they get Nyquist there for a playoff push. Value's actually pretty equal. They like both guys. McQueen's on the block. Let's see what they say. Trades rejected. Not giving up quite enough. I feel like it's got to be close, though, unless, the values they're showing us are way off. We'll try throwing in, I don't know, Buffalo Sabres 3rd-round pick. Trade still rejected. Maybe a 2nd-round pick next year instead. They said we're a bit off in value after that. Okay, so I'd like to keep our picks for this year. Maybe we'll throw in a 2027 7th. And there we go. So I think that trade's huge. Obviously, bringing a elite potential player. We still have Jordan Gavin. It's a big-time trade. See if we can maybe make one more. All right, guys, I'm not sure if the Florida Panthers are going to go for this, but I'm trying to get Spencer Knight right now. Elite potential goalie on the block. Obviously, Gibson's not really doing it for us. Dostal also, I feel, isn't great. He should be kind of better than they have him. So Knight here, 2045 elite potential. 908 save percentage as a backup. Could be our savior. Offering up Gavrikov there. I think Leno could take his spot next year, be a lot cheaper. Alexei just kind of flipping him there because he is, the 7th defenseman. Salary-wise, we're actually saving like 400K. So Florida Panthers want both guys. Knights on the block. Values, I think, slightly on our side. See what they say. Trade's going through. We're calling up Leno. Probably will leave him in the AHL for now, I think. But I feel like that was another really solid trade for us. All right, guys. So next year, I'm actually trying to trade John Gibson to the Columbus Blue Jackets to get Adam Henrique back on the Ducks. Tarasov is there for the goalie spot. We'll let him probably expire. Same with Goodbranson. He's just there for the salary. Now, John Gibson actually does have a modified no-trade clause, but looks like he's willing to go to Columbus Blue Jackets because this trade's going to go through. Also, Goodbranson, I think, has the same thing. I kind of feel bad, sending Gibson to, I think, the worst team in the NHL, but in real life, he did ask the Ducks for a trade. Last year, we had a Cinderella run. We're bad again, so maybe he would just, want to go out east. I think that's, where he's from. So we'll see what the Blue Jackets say to this. Trade's going to go through. I'm wondering, wait, if it goes through, we have to move Dostal down. Honestly, that's probably not the end of the world. I'm okay with that. We get out of the $6.5 million we're owed to Gibson, so we should be okay. I don't think, too, with Dostal's kind of long-term contract I gave him, anyone's going to pick him up. Hopefully, if someone did pick him up, we would have got notification. And yeah, nobody did. So we got Knight, we got Dostal. I'm not sure. I guess it's because we have too many goalies that Dostal got sent to the AHL, but maybe that'll help them out. A lot of low 80s there. We'll have to, go through that in the summer. But I think, yeah, definitely now, salary-wise, we got Younger. Ryan Strome, even a guy we could potentially move in the summer. I was looking to maybe move him at the deadline, but I guess we'll keep him for now. All right, guys, so the trade deadline's now complete. I feel like we were pretty active there. Hopefully all those moves help us out in the future. Oh my goodness. The blockbuster went down before our last trade of the day. Sam Dickinson goes to Seattle with a 2nd-round pick for Vince Dunn. That is crazy. Sharks looking to compete right now. They also picked up Alexander Carrier there for Philip Bystedt and Artem Guriev. Let's see. Thomas Novak there goes to Vegas Golden Knights. Our trade for Knight there. Speaking of, Samuel Honzek from the Flames Flyers. Let's see, a lot of picks being moved. Dylan Strom to the Minnesota Wild. Bukestad to the Sharks. Yarncroc there to the Sabres. Lawton to the Oilers. Our trade for Roger McQueen. O'Reilly to the Canucks. Patterson goes back to the Penguins. Palmieri to the Sabres. Line to the Sharks. And then Lodrigan there to the LA Kings. So yeah, definitely very active trade deadline. I think the Vince Dunn for Dickinson trade was the biggest, but I think we had, some big ones as well. Jordan Greenway available. 1.4 million, 1 year left, 80 overall, power forward, 5-star physical, defensively though, 78 D awareness. I don't think that's really good enough. He's 6'6", I'm going to decline still. And right now, guys, I'm going to send Tarasov down to the AHL. If he gets picked up, that's fine. Doesn't look like he did, though. All right, guys, so after the trade deadline, here's an updated look at the team. The top 6, I think, still the exact same. Cutter Gauthier has actually gained a couple X factors, bounced back as well as off the rush. Third line, we got Henrique now between Cologne and Vetrano. Kind of funny, see him back with the Ducks. He's 36. He could retire. We also could bring him back. We'll see what happens. Fourth line, no change. You can see it's just all +1s. Decided to try Lindgren here on the top here with Mintyukov. Then we have Zellweger, Fowler, followed by Lacombe and Goodbranson. I feel like Zellweger's really not doing much on the top line anyway. In terms of the goaltending, Knight, of course, our starter now. Zarenko actually backing him up because in the AHL, you got Tarasov and Dostal. So maybe those goalies can help carry the AHL team. Obviously, a lot of mid-70s, really no high 70s, low 80s. Probably why they're not swimming too well defensively as well. Just, more mid-70s. So over time, the AHL team should get a lot better. And obviously, the NHL team, hopefully, can bounce back next season. All right, guys, so this is kind of crazy. As you can see, right at the end of the season now, with a record of 35, 42, and 5. We actually finished dead last there in the Pacific Division with 75 points. After the trade deadline, team definitely did not play better. Big win against Utah, but, a few losses before that. I think we had like 4 straight losses after that. Had a 4-game win streak. And we finished off the year there with 5 straight losses. So hopefully we'll have some lottery luck. Maybe if we can pick first overall, get Gavin McKenna, that'd be amazing. In terms of our lottery luck, the Wild were below us, 73 points. Senators were tied. The Blue Jackets were below us. So we're either the 3rd or 4th best odds to get McKenna. I feel like that's not too bad. AHL team 26, 39, and 5. Not dead last, but pretty close there. Second last in their division. Definitely not a playoff team. Looking at their scoring leaders here, anything to look forward to. It's Harkins, who's done growing. Tristan Luneau, though, 30 points again. Could potentially get the call-up next year. And in terms of the NHL team, guys, you can see Zegras had the most points there, 72. Now, in terms of the entire league, you got Kucherov with 115, so a little bit, lower scoring. Again, this is with medium scoring, and the shot frequency set to high. Definitely don't go high. It's like 150 points for multiple players. It's ridiculous. Kucherov also had goal 64. Honestly, not crazy. Makar almost an assist a game there. That's pretty nuts to see. Eklund as well, still, high up. And Zach Hyman apparently went from a sniper to a playmaker, 73 assists. So they probably don't have his shot pass attribute high enough. Vasilevsky, most wins for goalie. Take a look at the rest of the stats here. So behind Zegras, guys, you got Carlson there with 65. Only 2 guys with 60 plus. McTavish was 1 shy. Mintyukov again, 57. Pretty solid. Hopefully it keeps growing. Gauthier, 51. I don't really see him commanding 13 million after that. He did go up in rating. Strome, 50. You got Terry there, 44. Bit of a down year. Toronto, Fowler. Again, I don't really know what's up because we had the same coaching staff as we had last season, maybe minus like a goalie coach. Zellweger only 19 points. Remember when he was asking for $8 million? Very curious to see what we'll ask for this summer. Now, in terms of our goaltenders, Knight there, 914. Was that with us? Wow. Yeah, he actually played really well with us. Didn't have a winning record, but a 915, 294. If he could actually, keep those numbers up for an entire season, that would be outstanding. AHL-wise, Suchanek was below 900. Didn't have a great team in front of him, though. And then look at the players here. You got Jakub Lako here with 39. Same with Gushin, with Stujov. Again, yeah, the AHL team, not great. And in terms of the entire league, guys, I kind of glossed over it before, but we got McDavid behind Kucherov, 113. Good to see him with over 100 points. McKinnon there, 111, which is solid. But again, last year he had 143. He's actually up to a 97 now. Marchand there, 37 years old, putting up a career year. Aho, Eklund's numbers, 110. He's going to be a 90-plus for sure. Matthews, Pasternak, Connor Bedard there. In terms of the goals, we already saw was Kucherov there, 64, but Bedard next up with 58. Defensive scoring there was Mikhail Makar. He's actually got a pretty good plus-minus, so maybe they give it to Adam Fox, but I feel like it should go Makar still. Goaltending there, Vasilevsky had the most wins. Tied with Anderson. Save percentage for his starters actually meets Sorokin, 918. Husso, .001 behind him. And then the lowest goals against here for starter, Freddie Anderson. Finally here, guys, take a look at the rookie skaters. Will Smith, 90 points. So he sat out last year, and this year he pops off. And he's actually the only rookie with 50-plus points. And now in terms of the entire league, guys, the Carolina Hurricanes win the President's Trophy, 113. I am curious, anybody like surprising? Chicago's out of the playoffs. Florida there kind of gets screwed. Again, last place in the league comes Blue Jackets. And they actually have us as third last, so I guess the Senators have the tiebreaker or whatever. But we have more regulation wins than the Senators, but I'm pretty sure it's the tiebreaker. So I'm not sure how they have the Senators above us, but obviously we'll take that. And in terms of goals for, we had the 4th worst in the league, so definitely got to get some more scoring next season. And then goals against, we had the 4th worst goals against. So really have to improve everywhere. I see the Oilers, though, had the 3rd worst goals against, still made the playoffs. So obviously you can't be done if you're high scoring. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case for us. So a lot of work to do this summer for sure. That's all going to start the draft. Like I said, hopefully we can have some luck. If we get Gavin McKenna, all of a sudden we got a dynasty on our hands. And check this out, guys. The playoffs are now complete. The Tampa Bay Lightning get it done without their captain, Steven Stamkos, so there's no curse put on them. Calder Cup champions there, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. So I feel like that's honestly a bit of a surprise. I think Lightning are definitely going to take a step back. Lost a lot of depth, but in the game here, they're able to turn it around. Are you kidding me? Toronto jumps from 11-1. I didn't even realize they missed the playoffs. And they're going to get Gavin McKenna. The Devils as well from 5-2. We fall as much as you can from 3-5. Absolutely terrible. I mean, at least I guess we're above Ottawa, but still not ideal. I was really hoping we could have, got McKenna in this draft. I guess we'll have to make do. We're going to have a top 5 pick. We should still be getting an elite player, but obviously franchise player would have been a lot better. So we'll take a look here, guys, at the playoff tree. Lightning there beat the Red Wings in 6. Swept the Sabres, beat the Islanders in 6. And then they swept the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup Final. Oh my goodness. I did not expect to see the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup Final already. I guess this would be, Connor Bedard's 3rd year. He's probably like a low 90 at this point, getting paid entry level. The Blackhawks there went through Utah, Flames, and the Canucks. I don't know if I would see the Flames in the playoffs 2 years from now. I think they still have a lot of rebuild to do. Utah, Canucks, I could definitely see those. So, team awards there we already saw. Individually, Kucherov, Art Ross Trophy. Aho, though, gets the Heart. You got McCarr there winning James Norris, first time since 22. Kucherov, Lady Byng. Will Smith, Calder. Kucherov, Conn Smythe, he's cleaning up. Anderson, Vezina Trophy. Vasilevsky, though, actually got the William Jennings. Interesting. Pesci, Bill Masterton. Flames coach, Jack Adams. Crosby, Selke, back-to-back. Bedard got the Ted Lindsay. Kucherov, Maurice Richard. So, huge year for him. In terms of the AHL, again, Scranton Penguins win the Calder Cup. You got Gambrel there, most points. Nieto MVP, both Bakersfield Condor players. Taylor Radish there at most goals. Frondell, best rookie. Hadaka there, best defenseman. Kakko, best goalie. You got Lizotte, MVP of the playoffs. Gauthier, sportsmanship. Brunette there, community involvement. And then finally, Merlinen with the lowest goals against. And next, you got taking a look at the retired players. So Nisimov calls it quits, was already in free agency. You can tell it's an old headshot when it's one of those like Senators ones where they kind of morph their faces. Clutterbuck, Matt Martin there. Riley Nash, Bellemare, Ryan Reeves. Nola Chari is actually really surprising, retiring at 34. I thought they had to be at least 35. Apparently not, though. Mark Piszczek also retires. Maybe guys can start retiring at 34 1 year sooner. That's actually super interesting. I'll take a look at goalies here, guys. You got Michael Hutchinson. That's it. Didn't realize he actually had that flow now. And one thing I want to do here, guys, before we get to the draft, is take a look at the contract asked for Gauthier, Zegras, as well as Zellweger. You can see, unfortunately, Mintyukov has gone down in rating by 1. Gauthier's actually up to an 89, though. So you might be asking for more money. No, he's actually a reasonable ask. 6.8, 5 years, 89. Okay. Yeah, I'll do exactly that. Hopefully he says yes. However, Zegras there dropped in rating by 1. 11.5 for 7. So he now wants long term. He wants reasonable. Okay. So I guess they're just kind of annoyed early on. Let's see if he would take 10.5. And we'll give him a no move clause as well. I think he'll be pretty easy to move. He'll be pretty young still. And hopefully that gets him to say yes. Also curious, Cam Fowler wants a 1-year extension at just under $5 million. Pretty much everything there maxed out. I don't mind that. He's the longest serving Duck, so I definitely would love to bring him back. And then Zellweger here somehow went up on rating by 1, even though he didn't really do much to earn it. He wants $6 million by 5 years. I just don't see that making sense right now based on what he's doing for us. So gonna have to wait on that one. And Spencer Knight, who we just traded for, all of a sudden wants a big raise. $6 million for 4 years. He's been a backup. Interesting. So he's actually cheaper at that 4-year mark. Now he did go up in ratings in 86. We need him for 6 more years. 6 by 6. Give him a 16-team no trade list. Hopefully Spencer Knight says yes to that. I think that's pretty fair for the new starting goaltender for the team. So we're in the draft now, guys. Obviously, like I said, Gavin McKenna going to go first overall. Oh, man. Sucks we couldn't have got him. Now, at number 5, we have a lot of options. Pushkarev there, Bolton, Ethan Belchetz, who's actually first overall pick in the OHL, playing for the Spits right now. He was unreal. 4 goals, 2 assists, I think, in the Spits home opener. Ryan Rubrek there as well. I'd definitely like to take a real player. Rubrek has a headshot, but, I mean, probably got to go with the Spitfire. You also got Joe Iginla there. So, definitely, like I said, we're going to get a good player. Belchetz as well, 6'4". Could go along with, our big team. We got Roger McQueen, obviously Cutter Gauthier. So I think we'll be happy with whoever we actually get at 5. No steals, unfortunately. Lots of busts, though. And now taking a look at guaranteed potential, you got Christopher Connor, maybe high elite. I don't know. It's probably like a high top 9 if he's going late first. Maybe high top 6. We'll see, I guess. One thing I realized, guys, I think I forgot to show the rest of the first round after our pick last time, so apologize for that. Now, Kasperitis here could be medium elite. You're going to go really late. Same with the goalie, Brigley. They're definitely worth taking a chance on. Butsayev there, too. Guaranteed lowly defenseman, 110, also solid value. Tiny Sanderson here could be medium top 6. We'll definitely take him. Now, it's kind of funny, guys. The Devils have the 2nd overall on the block, while they're the 4th overall. I am curious, does the Leafs' first round pick have like max value? Because, of course, Gavin McKenna has franchise potential. It does not. So the first overall pick definitely still needs to be more dynamic. If it's just a regular medium elite, then this value is fine. But when there's a franchise player available, that value has to go up. And Gavin McKenna did go 1 there, guys, to the Maple Leafs. 79 overall, medium franchise. So we'll just sim to our pick here. Audison, the high top 6, goes 4. Bad pick by the Wild, to be honest. Brenton there goes 3 to the Blue Jackets. Tristan Baev there, number 2 to the Devils. So like I said, we'll probably take the Spitfire in Ethan Belchet. I think that's just the pick we're going to like the most. We could take this Latvian defenseman, Brent Burns, NHL ready. He could be like, 80 plus overall. Colin Bolton here, PK Subban, similar style. I don't know, though. I'm kind of liking just making this, massive team. Rubrik as well, 6'3". Ginla there, only 5'11". We had a Ginla, too, on the Flames franchise. So, yeah, I'll take Ethan Belchet. I know he's going to be a little bit lower rated. 74, it's still not too terrible. Let's see, the centers there. Bushkarev, 79, so only 5 overall higher. It is elite. Rubrik there, 74. And then the other defenseman, Bolton, 77. So, obviously, when they're elite like this, they can grow a ton in one season and already catch up the rating. And Belchet does have a make it snappy X factor out the gate. Also, he put up 77 points there. 64 is rookie season. Love to see that actually with the Spits this year. Definitely should have more goals than that. And now next year, guys, trying to get trade the Montreal Canadiens to actually dump Alex Clorin's contract. He's got 1 year left at 6.3, 82 overall. I think we need that money this summer to re-sign guys. Maybe even actually sign a free agent. Owen Beck coming back could end up being a decent bomb 6 player for us. He should have higher potential. We'll get that fixed in the custom roster. But see what the Montreal Canadiens say. They have some cap space. And they say no, which honestly, fair enough. I'm not sure if throwing in Claire there, medium fringe started goalie, and like, I don't know, a 5th round pick in the future would make them say yes to this one. Okay, it does. All right, so I guess that was pretty close in value. And now, guys, we're just going to sim to our next pick, number 67. Hopefully, we can pick up somebody pretty solid here. Pick 3 in round 3. Could take a chance on Korobov, Estonian defenseman. Honestly, for fun, why not? And he's medium top 6. All right, that's tough. Also, to you guys who are curious, after our draft, we saw all the way up to a Ginla, I believe. Curious to see if any other elite players got taken, but it looks to be pretty much all medium top 6 forwards, medium top 4 defensemen, even actually some guys worse than that. And now I guess at the end of the 3rd round, we actually have back-to-back picks, so probably just going to go with a couple pin guys like Butsayev, who's actually next to go, so got lucky there. He is medium elite, 56 overall. Let's go. And then the next pick here, I guess the next guy to go would be the German defenseman, guaranteed low elite. But we could also take a chance on Brigley, maybe get back-to-back medium elite goalies. And he's a medium fringe. Okay, wow, should have taken the defenseman. So here, guys, I'm offering Crawl the Wild for a 4th round pick. I want to get that German defenseman with low elite potential. They say no. Throw in a 7th. He's actually not that bad, like 26 years old, 78 overall. Would be like, solid AHL. Now they say yes, so like I said, I just want to make sure I get that guy guaranteed low elite. And the Penguin just took an AHL top 6 forward, being the 4th round. So this is with low. Obviously, it is tougher, but we get Schutz there. 54 overall, but definitely solid potential. We'll just send to our next pick now. I think it's our last pick of the draft in the 6th. Taking a look here to see who we have left pinned. It's just Kasperitis, who could be elite potential from Belgium. We'll take a chance here. And he's a medium 7th. All right. So, I mean, overall, I thought the draft was pretty good. Obviously, like our 5th overall pick. Got a couple, steals like goalie, of course. I think pretty happy. Also, guys, I'm looking here. We actually need to re-sign our NHL head coach, associate coach, and assistant. I feel like the head coach made the playoffs the first year and then not the next. We could probably keep him around as long as, A, teaching, coach influence B-. I mean, you'd like that to be better. It would be cool to keep him the entire time, though. So let's try, give him a contract. It's also kind of cheap. Then we'll bring in maybe better associates and assistant. And look at this, guys. Cutter Gauthier accepted our offer. He said at first I wasn't going to resign due to the salary offered. Overall, your offer meets my desires. So we got a pretty good deal. I saw it too. Hit a few extra X factors. Cam Fowler as well decided to come back. Zegers there accepts. Okay, so Spencer Knight too. All of a sudden, team's actually starting to fill out. So we'll get to the re-sign phase here. I think we actually might have a little bit of money to play with. So getting to the re-sign phase here, guys, again, look at that. All of our top players under contract, and we still have 60 million in cap space. Trading away Alex Lauren's contract definitely helped out. Obviously, only would have had 10. Still have to sign Zellweger. Strome could keep, could trade away. What's he looking for now? So Zellweger here still wants 5x5, which again, I don't really think he's earned yet. So I'm just going to play hardball with him. We'll give him a qualifying offer here, $1 million, and kind of just wait on that. Henrique could bring back the bottom 6 center. Wants basically no money. 1-year deal. We'll offer 1.5. Drew Hellison here actually could potentially end up making the NHL team. He's 78 at 25. And now look at our defense here, guys. I see we currently have 2 78s penciled in for the bottom pair. Lacombe, Leno. Hellison's there as well. Definitely need, a couple guys to grow here. And then in terms of the goaltending, so Knights could be our starter. Tarasov will just let go. Zarenko there, we could sign to be the backup, or Dostal. I'm curious what he's looking for. I mean, he wants no money. He's 81 overall. So yeah, we'll do that. 2-year deal. Dostal only has 1 year left to grow. Low fringe starter potential. Again, they kind of ruined his potential with the low starter. So honestly, probably going to look to offload that contract. But I guess worst case is in the AHL with most of that buried. And here we go, guys. Evan Henrique did accept the offer. Again, it should be a solid player in the bottom 6. Tyson Hines there for the AHL. Same with Hellison, Nestorenko. Aside from Henrique, is basically, I think, all AHL players. Alright, guys, we're at the free agency period. Curious to see who's available. Again, we actually have some money to spend. Rasmus Anderson, 89 overall defenseman, but he wants 12.2 million. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense for us. 29 years old. Could be top pairing with Mintyukov, but we're going to have a lot of young players to pay in the future. After that, just a ton of forwards. The next best defenseman is actually Zellweger, so I don't know. We could probably get like a 1-year rental on a guy, kind of like what we did with Nyquist last year. In terms of goalies, you got Devin Levi here, 88 overall. Should be an RFA. He is. After that, just Connor Ingram. Looking at the two-way goalies, just kind of curious. Hunter Jones, 77 overall. 25 years old. Okay, that's really nothing crazy. Offensively here, Delgazio. Hopefully I said that right. 26.79. Probably could use at least one guy in the AHL, so we'll give him a contract. Also, Robertson, 25.78. Finally, don't have him, I think, overvalued. They've always done that. And he said yes, 800K, so basically league min. And now looking at forwards here, you got Ben-Olivier Gruel, who's actually drafted by the Ducks. You can bring him back to the AHL team, obviously, if they need some help. Ryan Suzuki here is also available. You can see his potential is actually drawn down, I think, but from medium top 6, medium top 9. I saw someone mentioning how potentials actually drop a lot sooner in this game. Before, I don't think they would change until they were like 26. Now, apparently, if they have a terrible rookie season, they might drop in as soon as 1 year. I haven't seen that, but definitely something to keep an eye out for. Now, in terms of the available free agents, guys, I'm kind of eyeing Matt Duchene here. I think he could really help us out in the top 6. Move Ryan Strome down to the 3rd line. Obviously, he's a little bit older now at 35, but still has 5 X factors, tons of speed, very good offensively. I think, playing him with Terry and, I don't know, maybe McTavish on the 2nd line could be a really solid group. So, he wants a 2-year deal, which pays him plays 37. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I guess most of our contracts are already expired, so we could do that. I'd rather do a 1 year, though. But I'll give him like, I don't know, 6.75. It'll be a no-move clause. We'll see what he says. We could also bring the former captain back to the team as an insurance option. Obviously, we did make the playoffs with him. Having that physicality on the bottom pair helped us out. 82 overall. He only wants $2 million. TJ Brody here as well. Maybe not too bad of an option, but I think Gudis gives us that physicality. So I'll see if he'll come back on a 1 year, and we'll offer like, I don't know, 2.5 because, yeah, he's 36. Definitely a bit of a risky contract. Wow, this is insulting. The Senators offered us 2 seconds for Troy Terry. I know he's making $7 million, but no. And Gudis actually rejected our offer. Went with a rival of ours, the Vancouver Canucks. Matt Duchene also rejected, decided to go to Columbus Blue Jackets. Interesting. They were last place in the league. And now look at the players still available in free agency, guys. I definitely should have made like a secondary offer behind Duchene. I honestly thought you would have said yes. I think I'm too used to like, the old ways where really easy to get free agents. So could get Perron. I'm also eyeing Anderson here. His ask is actually going down to 10 million. We have 16, so we probably could get him and Zellweger. At that point, our defense is much better. Offensively, I don't know, we're probably weak, but maybe we could bring in a cheap kind of guy like Jaden Schwartz till we have some of the younger players moving up to the NHL. It's kind of what I'm thinking, maybe. Anderson, Schwartz, obviously 10 million bucks. He wants the no move. Pays him to at least 36, which isn't terrible. I'd probably be willing to do this. Again, him and Mintyukov on that top pairing. Interest in us isn't amazing. He wants first power play unit. That's probably going to be Mintyukov, so I don't think we'll be able to do that for him. But let me start a negotiation here. We'll try and charm him. Persuasion failed. Okay. In the interest of getting the best offer possible, I can tell you I'm considering a 7-year deal at $16 million from Calgary. End conversation. Yeah, good luck with that. I will not be offering you that. I do see there's 3 teams interested. That's hilarious. So we're not paying him. We definitely could afford, somebody else. David Perron, 86 on a 1 year. Kind of does it all. PK, power play. Let's look into this. We'll try 1 year here at 4.5. No move clause isn't necessary. The contract interest is max. Organization could be better, but it's okay. And now Zellweger here, guys, has actually come down. 4.6 for 5 years. I want him for 6. Would he say yes? I don't know, like 4.25. And we'll do a full no move clause there in his 6th and final year. I'm not exactly sure how it works out with like certain years, being eligible for no move clauses. Other years not, but I feel like that's pretty fair. And there we go. Zellweger said yes. I wasn't sure if he would. 4.25, but hopefully that works out. Also, David Perron here returning to Orange County. So again, not amazing signings, but hopefully something that puts us in a good spot. Associate coach there. Basically, we have to pay more money. Now look at this, guys. The Rangers offering us a 2nd and a 7th for Toronto. Honestly, I think we have to say yes to that. That's just too good of a return, especially when we get like a pretty similar player in free agency for free. For instance, you got Oliver Bjorkstrand here. He wants just under $6 million. I mean, we've got $11 million still, even after signing both Perron and Zellweger. Like, that's a pretty good spot to be in. Jane Schwartz there as well, just like very cheap. And now looking at free agency again, guys, I'm going to sign Hunter Jones here to be AHL goalie. I think I'm going to try and move on from Lucas Dostal. I'm going to give him 2 years here, $900K. I feel like probably will say, yeah, I said yes immediately. So after that, what I'm thinking is we could still use some help. Definitely want Jane Schwartz here, be like a kind of middle 6 player. Give him, I don't know, 1.4 on a 1 year. Said yes immediately. I'm also thinking Alec Martinez could be a good insurance option in case never a defenseman grow. He wants 2 years. There's just no way, but I'll give him, I don't know, like 2.5. I'll give him 50% no trade clause. He said yes. And now next year, guys are trying to trade Dostal to the Rangers for Brendan Othman. Medium top 9 potential. Definitely, I think he's better than that. But we'll get him right now potentially for Dostal as well as save some money. They say yes. There we go. And you know what, guys? We still have 9.3 million in cap space here. Maybe we could go and actually sign Oliver Bjorkstrand. Wants 3 years. He's 31. That's not that bad. Again, we don't really have any rookies or anything that need to get signed until at least that long. So could make him that offer. Dropping it down to 5.25, it's still like pretty high interest. And giving him a 12-team no trade list makes it like max again. So maybe he'll do that with like $5 million bucks. See what he says. Back to us in a few days. We're the only team that's interested right now. That would still leave us probably like $5 million as well. Bjorkstrand rejects the offer. Don't have the roster space. Okay, it said 49 to 50, but I guess we'll have to move somebody. I think he would have said yes. Samuelson for Strome. This is actually potentially a really good deal. We also get a 3rd round pick here. Let me see Samuelson's rating. Making 4.2 for the next 4 years. He's 82. It's a little bit pricey for an 82 overall defenseman. I was hoping he was like an 83, 84. I'm going to have to say no. Trying to trade away a couple of our contracts we don't need, guys. The Avs for a 7th. They said yes. And I'm going to try making Bjorkstrand the same offer here. $5 million bucks, 3 years. With a, oh, I think I messed up. That was a 4-team no trade. It's supposed to be a 12-team. I mean, I guess whatever. If he says no, I'll modify it. And he rejected. One with an offer that better fits my need. He actually returns to Columbus just like Matt Duchene. Okay, fair enough. And next year, guys, I'm having a conversation with our coach about next season. So we'll see what he's thinking for the season goal. There are some kinks to work out, but the team's good enough to compete for a playoff spot. I would agree. I think, honestly, maybe not, but at least, try. And now, speaking of that, guys, I'll show the team for next season. So Cutter Gauthier is actually a 90 overall now, which is pretty crazy. Got him playing on the first line there with Carlson and Terry. They get a +5. Second line's now Ryan Strome, Trevor Zegras, and Mason McTavish. Again, would have been nice to have, maybe Duchene or Bjorkstrand up in that top 6, but it's all right. We got Schwartz on the 3rd with Henrique and Perron. Colangelo, Gruel, and Svechkov is actually the new 4th line. Defensively here, pretty similar. I think the top 4 is the same. Mintyukov, Zellweger, Fowler, Lindgren. But the bottom pair is now Martinez and Delgazio. He actually made the team over Leno as well as Lacombe. Goaltending, Thunder Knights at 88 now. He also gained an X Factor. So I think that contract there we gave him $6 million for 6 years. It's going to turn out to be pretty good. Zarenko backing him up. I just realized apparently he's got a 31-team no trade in the final year. That's funny to see. Not even sure how that ended up. Now, in terms of the AHL team, they look a lot better. High 70s. You got Seneca now on that AHL team. Roger McQueen's also there. I feel like he's there kind of early. He should be 20. Maybe he has to do with his birth date. But elite potential. If he goes up, he could even get called up to an NHL team. If not, just hopefully carry that AHL. A lot of high 70s there mid. Defensively as well, a lot of high 70s. Chemistry kind of sucks, but hopefully it's okay. And then goalies, you got Hunter Jones and Suchanik. So AHL team's been pretty terrible. Maybe this is the year they finally make the playoffs. And the NHL team, of course, on paper, I think they're honestly probably worse than last year, but they're better than the first year. So I think, anything could happen with this squad. And now in terms of their ratings, guys, they got 91 offense, 89 defense, 87 goaltending. I think Cutter Gauthier here is actually the highest rated player on the team now. So look at the team. Maybe next year look to add a sniper for that second line and then move Strome down to the third. But love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this one, leave that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.